Welcome back to the Advanced Read-Through Calculator training. This is now video 6 and we'll be looking at how we read the royalty results, once again with a very simple example. So first of all, I'm going to copy the sheet again because it's the same set of data. I'm actually going to use the move or copy just to show again how it works. So use create a copy. This tells you where we're going to place it, so we'll move it to the end. There we go, and we can also rename it. I have been using Excel for close on 30 years now, I think, and that's probably only the 5th or 6th time I've copied in that way, but it is certainly a way that works and is less magical looking on a screen share than me just control and dragging. So we now want to look at the actual royalty output. Now the first thing we're going to do is have a look at some calculations, just one set. Now we're going to come down here to this calculation here, and you can see here it says the income for each book per sale of book 1. Don't worry too much about the page read, that's for Kindle Unlimited. So how much for every book 1 we sell, how much do we earn for book 1? Well, we know that's $1. Book 2 and book 3. Now those numbers, you might be wondering where they've come from, so let me show you here. Screenshot I took slightly earlier. So what we're seeing here, yes we can see it all, is the number of sales and the percentages, which we don't worry about too much here, and then the amount. Now if you remember, what we were saying was that from book 1 to book 2 we saw 80% of people who bought book 1 bought book 2, and what that means is we take that $2 and multiply it by 80%, which gives us $1.60, and in this case it was 75%, so we times that by the $2 and we get $1.50. So that's how those are calculated, and you won't ever need to look at those rows again. It's just to give you an idea of how this is calculated. And if I was to highlight those, so down here Excel is telling us that the sum there is $4.10. Now if we come up to the results up here, $4.10 for the ebook column, so that's always a relief, so things do match up. So what we now know is that those magical calculations in the background, or not so magical if you want to go look at them and see what they're doing, mean that we can know how much we will earn, or we expect to earn, for every sale of book 1, and that's pretty good. So every time we sell book 1 we know we get $1, but with read through to books 2 and 3 we expect to get $4.10. That's a big difference, knowing that you'll get $1 to knowing you'll get $4.10. Now we have the total income column here. This is taking your number of sales. Let me just zoom up a little bit. It's 1,000 sales, and it is multiplying it. Oh, right, now I need to get this one right. So it's taking your number of sales here and multiplying it by the amount you earn per book. So $1,000 there, 800 times 2 will be $1,600, 750 times 2 will be $1,500, so that's coming together to $4,100. And you can see as well we have an overall total, which at the moment is the same number because it's coming from adding it up across ebook, KU, paperback, audiobook and hardback. And then that number is used to calculate the percentage of total income. We don't need to worry about that at all now. That will come in a later video. You can see it's 100% right now. Everything is coming from the ebook, and again there's a number here which is still the same for ebook because that's all we have, and again you don't need to worry about that one here. It is the number you look at overall, but because we only have ebooks you can have a look at that number there. And that is it for this video. So there you go. We have now entered some data. We have put in the few bits and pieces here that were needed. We have put in the book sales. We have put in the ebook royalties, and those are the only things we've entered to be able to know that for every sale of book 1 we have $4.10 coming our way. So that's quite a lot of calculating going on with very little information put in. And on top of that you also know the sell-through from book to book, so from book 1 to book 2 and book 2 to book 3, and you know the sell through as you go through the series. So from book 1, how many people will reach book 3? And if you have 9 books in the series, it could be really interesting just to know as a number how many of the people who start on the series get to that last book in the series. So that's it. We'll start to look at some more complicated examples in the next video, and we will be on to that imminently.